I'm headed straight for the cash.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be doing another training video. The last time we did a training video, I had you guys share your SSO secrets. While I don't really think I have any, I decided that I would do my own little Spill the Tea series. So we are going to be talking about Mean Girls today. Now I know what you're thinking. Your name is literally the same as Regina George, the meanest girl ever.
Aren't you the mean girl?
No. I have some stories about some girls that used to go to my high school when I was in high school, and they're pretty awful. Not as bad as I'm sure some of you have experienced, but enough that it makes a good story. So let's get into it. Okay, so for this first story, let's talk about my best friend. Well, ex-best friend. We'll call her Sharon for the point of this video, so as to not give away any identities. But yes, dear Sharon and I used to be friends in 4th grade, and I would go as far as to say we were pretty darn good friends. We always went over to each other's houses, we always hung out with like the same people. We were pretty good friends. Well, in 6th grade, this new girl came to our school. We'll call her Haley, because again, we're not going to give away any identities. But Haley really liked swim. In fact, she is probably going to go to the Olympics. Like, she's really good. So Haley, her whole life pretty much revolved around swimming. And not many people liked that about her. So me and one of my other friends, we'll call her Layla. So Layla and I in 8th grade decided, you know, this girl has been to our school. She's come here for 2 years, and she still doesn't really have any friends. This was sparked by the fact that we saw her sitting at lunch alone, and we wanted to invite her to our table to sit. So, being the nice people that we are, we did as such and invited her to sit with us at lunch. Oh gosh, hold on. Ran into a wall. Can't have a training video with me without running into a wall. Anyway, so Haley comes over to our table with us. The 3 of us sit down, and dear Sharon goes,
What are you doing here?
And Haley, just like the look on her face, she looks so sad. She was just like, well, Regina and Layla said I could come sit with you guys. And Sharon goes,
Well, can't you sit somewhere else?
like, okay, I've been friends with this girl for 4 years. I knew she liked gossiping, and I knew she liked hearing all the drama and stuff like that. She had a catty side, but I never thought she would blatantly ask some girl who didn't have any friends that she couldn't sit at a table with us. Like, that was just beyond rude. So Haley gets up and she goes to sit by herself again, and Layla and I were like, no sweetie, we're gonna go sit with you instead of these little monsters. And so we went over and sat with her. Well, I might as well have just considered myself no longer Sharon's friend, because after that, she started telling people that she was glad that me and Layla weren't sitting with her anymore because she thought we were annoying. This girl and I had been friends since 4th grade. She never showed any sign that she thought I was annoying, but she literally cut off a friendship because me and Layla didn't want to be jerks to this girl who didn't have any friends. Like, who does that? So literally since 8th grade, this girl and I have like been at each other's throats, and I just found that incredibly rude. I didn't even care that she apparently didn't want to be my friend anymore, because I was just so upset with her that she had done that, and I just didn't care. She showed her true colors that day. So fast forward, I think like a year, it's freshman year of high school, And Sharon and I don't even talk at all. I have new friends at this point, Haley being one of them. I still am friends with Layla, and then I've met this entirely new friend group that I hang out with now because Sharon wouldn't let the other two friends that Layla and I hung out with, like, talk to us, basically. Like, she kind of blackmailed a girl I had been friends with for a super long time into, like, never talking to me. And so we'd have to, like, hang out, like, literally behind her back. It was so annoying. But anyway, so freshman year, this new friend of mine, we'll call her Carol. Carol, it was an English class, and we were sitting there, and Carol really liked whatever it was that Sharon was wearing. I don't know if it was, like, a dress, a shirt, shoes, something she had on my friend Carol liked. And so after class, we were all, like, packing up, getting ready to leave, and Carol goes, Sharon, I really like your dress, or whatever it was she was wearing. Cheryl just looks at her, rolls her eyes, and goes,
thanks,
and then walks out the door. Like, what? Like, my friend Carol had never really talked to her at this point. Like, they knew of each other. I remember not Cheryl. I combined their names. I remember Sharon saying to me that she didn't even like Carol because she hung out with, like, the
outcasts
or whatever. But, like, they hadn't even talked. So Sharon just was rude for no reason when my friend was trying to compliment her. Like, what is wrong with people? I don't understand. So then, fast forward, like, another year, and I was in a computer class with this girl, and one day my friend and I, will call her Marissa for the sake of things. Marissa and I were just talking as we were, like, packing up to go home from this computer class because it was our last class of the day. So we're walking down the hallway just talking to one another. Sharon, I keep forgetting her name. Sharon just starts screaming and being super obnoxious with her little posse. And I was like, I can't even hear myself think. I can't hear myself have a conversation with my friend. So, me being the person who doesn't really take anything from anyone, especially if it's her, just some harmless mean girl that just says mean things and has a bad attitude, I turned around and I was like, sorry, what did I say her name was? Marissa, I can't hear you because some people decided to scream like 5-year-olds. Oh my gosh.
The look on her face.
I laughed so hard right there in front of her. It was so funny. She looked so mad, and I was like, well, that's what you get for screaming in the hallways like you're 5, to where no one can hear what they're saying. Oh my gosh, it was so funny. I had to do it because I couldn't resist, and it was so funny. So, this other story took place, like...
What the heck?
This other story took place not even... Well, a year ago, a little more actually. It was my senior year of high school. Our physics class took a trip to this, oh gosh. My physics class and I took this trip to, like, this science place. I'm not gonna say the name of it because it might give away, like, where I live, and I don't want to do that. But we went to this science thing, and it had, like, a ton of cool stuff and everything. And so, at the end of the day, we'd been enjoying ourselves. No altercations with her whatsoever. We stopped by a fountain, just, like, so my teacher can, like, wait on the bus or whatever. One of my friends decides that she's going to splash me. And so I was like, okay, whatever, I'm gonna get you back. So I splash her back. She moves out of the way. And guess who is right behind her? Sharon. Guess who gets all of that water splashed on them? That's right, folks, Sharon. So I have now completely drenched Sharon. It is so funny. I'm laughing so hard. And she just goes, Regina, no! Now, mind you, in real life, the friend that I also, that I that I was supposed to splash. We had the same name. Clearly it's not Regina, but we have the same name. And like the both of us, like, I don't know which one of us she was yelling at. Probably me, because she hates me so much. But we were dying because we both hate this girl. My friend Carol and then another friend of ours, we were all just dying. Oh my gosh, her face was beet red. It was so funny. It was so funny. Oh my gosh. That was great. Those are the only like stories I have about Sharon, but I do have another mean girl that I'm going to talk about. So this mean girl, we'll call her Amelia. Dear Amelia was a junior during the time that I was a freshman in high school. And so on our first day of freshman year, our dear friend Amelia turns around to my table of little freshman girls and goes, "Somebody go get me a fork." And we all just kind of stared at her like, is she talking to us? Like, what the heck? And all of my friends just kind of like turned around and ignored her, but I was still staring at her because I was just confused. And she looks at me and goes, "You're a little freshman, go get me a fork." And I was like, I just looked at her and I was like, "No, go get your own fork." And then one of my mom's friends told me, "You know what you should have done? You should have gone to get her a fork, walked over to her table, stuck the fork in your mouth, licked it, and then handed it to her, made sure she could see." I was like, oh my gosh, I should have done that. That would have been the funniest thing. But that was our first meeting with this lovely girl named Amelia. Unfortunately, though, that wasn't my only altercation with Amelia. Because for a few days after that, anytime she would see me in the hallways, she would like shoulder me and try to push me into lockers. And so this one time, well, the first time it happened, I didn't know that she was like near me or behind me. I only noticed until after. Same thing with like the second time. But the third time, oh boy, I saw her coming and I was like, you are not gonna get me now. I am not big by any means. I am 5'2". I'm short. She was a good 6 inches taller than me probably. But I am pretty strong, if I do say so myself. I used to play basketball, which I think is where a lot of it came from, but then I also do archery. And for whatever reason, that just has made me have a lot of upper body strength. And so I see her coming, and I was like, oh man, you are not pushing me today, sweetheart. She comes, tries to shove me, but I like shouldered her so hard. I actually hurt myself shouldering her. I threw this girl into the locker. It was so funny. She just like, oh my gosh, the look on her face. It was priceless. It was the best thing I have ever seen. But yeah, I was not taking that from her. But after that, after I shoved her into the locker that hard, she never did it to me again. So that's all you gotta do, folks. If somebody's pushing you around, just push them back. Unfortunately, though, this was also not my last interaction with her. And while these next few stories didn't happen to me, I was there to witness them, and they're pretty funny. So one day at lunch, these girls, they sat like really close to us, Amelia and her little posse of
words I'm not allowed to say on this channel.
They were sitting at the table like right behind us. Well, one day they were screaming, and one of my friends, her name is also the same name as Amelia's real name, so we're gonna call her Amelia number 2. Amelia number 2 just goes, "Oh my gosh, shut up." And she didn't mean to say it as loud as she did, but they heard it. All three of them whip their heads around, and Amelia number 1, mean Amelia, goes,
"Who just said that?"
And oh my gosh, bless this girl's heart. She's like so small. She's super skinny. She's really short. She just raises her hand fearlessly. Oh, the look on Amelia's face was priceless. She was so mad that a little freshman girl had told her to shut up. She gets up, marches over to where our principal is standing. We can see her yelling and pointing her finger at us, and he's just sitting there. He takes one glance at us, sees who we are, sees we're the students who get good grades. We don't cause any problems. We've never caused problems before. He just looks at us, shrugs his shoulders, and Amelia comes marching back to our table, and she goes,
Bet you won't do that again.
I forgot I left out one vital part of the story. So basically, right before Amelia gets up to go tell the principal that we had told her to shut up, my friend Carol, good old Carol, she goes, like, okay, so Amelia turned to her friends and was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe these little freshman girls just told me to shut up. What babies, or something like that. And Carol goes, well, we might be the babies, but you're screaming like them. And that's when she got up and went to tell the principal. So she comes back and was like, bet you won't do that again. Carol goes,
try me.
oh my gosh. Amelia's face was priceless. She grabs her water bottle cap and throws it at Carol. And Carol goes, ow, that really hurt. Just dripping sarcasm. It was so funny. Oh my gosh. This girl, for the next several weeks, well, first of all, she posted on Twitter to her friends at, like, other schools that some little freshman girl had just, like, smarted off to her or whatever. And I was in math class with her younger sister, and her younger sister was, like, asking about it, and I was like, yeah, that was my friend. And her little sister is, like, nothing like her. Like, she was super nice, super sweet, and she was like, oh my gosh, I can't stand my sister. She's, like, the worst. And that was just, like, super funny to me that, like, she posted on Twitter about it. This girl also would ask people if they knew Carol's, like, where Carol lived, what Carol did after school. They even she even looked, like, found her locker number and tried to get the combination for it, but Carol was smart enough not to tell anyone. I think I knew, but, like, I was gonna tell Amelia that. So she was, like, trying to find out all this stuff about Carol. She would shoulder Carol in the hallway like she tried to do to me after the fork incident. But Carol was just like me and pushed her into the lockers numerous times, but apparently she didn't like Carol even more than she didn't like me, so it went on even after Carol fought back, which is funny because Carol was in Kung Fu. Carol was not afraid to beat up Amelia if it came to it. And then she would, like, scream at her in the hallways and, like, just call her really awful things. And oh my gosh, this one time, I remember one fight that happened in the hallway. They were, like, walking through together, and I don't even remember what Amelia said. Probably something I should not be saying on this channel. And Carol said something back to her. I don't even remember what it was. And then I don't even know how the conversation went, but, like, Carol pulled out these insults, and I was like, whoa, girl, where did you get those from? But it was really funny. Amelia's face as she walked away defeated because she couldn't think of any insult that didn't involve a swear word, and it was, like, the same thing over and over again. She had no good arguments. She was just a dumb, mean girl. She didn't know how to do anything but be mean to people. But yeah. So that was funny. After that, though, like, nothing really happened. Occasionally, Carol would wink at her in the hallway just to make her mad. But other than that, like, nothing really happened with Amelia. So after all of that, like, Amelia just kind of gave up, I guess, because she saw that my friends and I weren't scared of her as much as she would have loved us to be. I don't really think I have any more stories. These were, like, the only two mean girls that I really got involved with. There was a mean girl in elementary school that everyone, like, always had some sort of trouble with. But, I mean, it was elementary school. I don't really remember what all the drama was. I was never involved in it because I don't like that stuff. But I just always remember my friends always getting in trouble with this one girl in elementary school. But as she grew up and got older, she was never really that bad. So I don't have any like things about her from middle school or high school. So really those were the only two mean girls that I ever really encountered. I will say that the one, Sharon, that was my friend, has really like opened my eyes to how careful you need to be with people and like how you just can't trust everyone even if they are your best friend. Now, I should have known the warning signs. Like, she did like drama, she liked gossip, she just wasn't really a nice person, and I was too blinded by the fact that I was her friend to see it. I think now, looking back on it, I would have known immediately that she is not the type of person that I wanted to be friends with. But, you know, it's fine, because from breaking off my friendship with her, while yes, I did lose a few really good friends, or I'm not as close to them, I did make a really great group of friends that even though I'm still in college, I'm still really close with. I go to college with two of them. One's my roommate, was, and now the three of us are going to be living in an apartment together. The other two I still see on a regular basis because they live in my neighborhood. So, I mean, I still have this really close group of friends that I'm still friends with because she dropped me as a friend. So, I mean, good things can come out of that sort of thing. I guess my advice to you would be, is like, if you're friends with a mean girl, or at least think you're friends with a mean girl, or somebody like that is giving you trouble, don't just like cower away from it. Stand up for yourself, because really they just want to prey on the people that they know won't fight back, and that's why they're going to keep coming for you. If you fight back, yeah, they may try on multiple occasions, but eventually they're going to grow bored of you and they won't even pay attention to you. Like with Amelia, I shoved her into a locker and she never bothered me since. Then again, she didn't have as much trouble with me as she did Carol, but after a few weeks, she didn't even really bother Carol that much either. I don't really know where this rant was going. I think I was just going to say that you need to stand up for yourself if there's bullies that are being mean to you, because typically they can't really do much. I mean, of course you have those few people that are just complete menaces and they won't back down. But for the most part, if you let people know that they can't push you around, they're not going to push you around. Also, if you, as I was saying with like, if you are friends with somebody that's mean to you, just break the friendship off. If they're going to be toxic people, you don't need to constantly have that negativity in your life. I felt much better, even though it kind of hurt at first, to know that Sharon was spreading rumors about me and like telling people I was super annoying, and she was glad that she wasn't my friend anymore. I'm still glad that I'm not friends with her, because first of all, she turned out to be a really nasty person. If she doesn't like you, you know it. She's even like really mean to people who are her friends. Like, I'm still decently close to one girl that I was best friends with back in elementary school, but she kind of broke that friendship off because Sharon did, because she's just super controlling. But she told me one time when I went over to spend the night at her house that like Sharon knows things about her and that she would blackmail her if she ever came and started hanging out with my new friend group. So I find that really sad, because like she still hangs out with Sharon and Sharon's still mean to her. My mom and her mom are friends, and she tells me all the time that this friend's mom constantly has to deal with Sharon being mean to her daughter, and I've heard it firsthand from this girl that Sharon is still mean to her. And I wish she would break off that friendship, because after I did, it was so much better, because I met a group of friends that like I go to college with half of them, the other half I still see on a regular basis, and we're still really close. So overall, breaking off that toxic friendship, even though I didn't know it was toxic until the very end of it, I developed much better and I guess better quality friendships from that. So that's my advice to you guys. I'm sorry it was so ranty. I hope you picked something up from all of that. Unfortunately, I do not have any more stories to share with you today, so that's going to be a wrap on the training video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know in the comments of any mean girls in your life or that have been in your life, because
we all love a good tea spillage every once in a while.
So if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!